Crazy.
That seems a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. So we should have, that seems crazy.
Howdy, y'all. I'm Brylan. Trump announces new role for Musk and Ramaswamy in Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. A lot of people are getting a kick out of that. Now, I'm totally down with this. 100% down with this. My only concern would, I hope making the government larger by creating another branch of government tasked with shrinking the government actually helps shrink the government. Only time will tell, but this is better than nothing. If the left would have continued to hold power, then the government would have continued to grow and grow. Hey, real quick, would you consider hitting that thumbs up button? You know when you like this video to get pushed out to more people, and it would really help spread the truth. All three of these men have been outspoken about getting rid of the Department of Education, for instance. That's just one department that's bloated, taking up space that doesn't need to be taken up, and it just gives power to the government, to the federal government, that they should not have. And so I'm completely down if they just start wiping out these branches of government that don't need to be there. And in case you needed a reason to believe that the Department of Education should be completely just destroyed and that we should get rid of it, here is your reason. So here's the official statement from Donald J. Trump on his official X account. It says, "I am pleased to announce that the great Elon Musk, working in conjunction with the American patriot Vivek Ramaswamy, will lead the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. Together, these two wonderful Americans will pave the way for my administration to dismantle government bureaucracy, slash excess regulations, cut wasteful expenditures, and restructure federal agencies. I look forward to Elon and Vivek making changes to the federal bureaucracy with an eye on efficiency and, at the same time, making life better for all Americans. Importantly, we will drive out the massive waste and fraud which exists throughout our annual $6.5 trillion of government spending. They will work together to liberate our economy and make the U.S. government accountable to we the people. Their work will conclude no later than July 4th, 2026. A smaller government with more efficiency and less bureaucracy will be the perfect gift to America on the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence." So this is pretty interesting that they have an end date. So it will not go later than July 4th, 2026. Let's hope that holds true. If we're just being real, a lot of times stuff like this ends up, it has to be extended. How about 2027 instead? Because we still have a little more work to do. Hopefully, that isn't what happens here, but I guess we won't know until July 4th, 2026. But we're going to get insight. We're going to see how this is going to play out over the next couple of years. And we're going to see if they actually start shrinking the government, making the government branches that do stay more efficient. In fact, here's just a few things that the government funds that's just ridiculous.
Gin to a sunfish versus tequila, which would make the sunfish more aggressive? Nearly $1 million spent studying whether or not Japanese quail, if you give them cocaine, whether or not they're more sexually promiscuous. Was it one small step for man, or was it one small step for a man? And in the end, $750,000 later, they couldn't decide.
Here's an idea of where Elon Musk's thoughts are on DOGE.
I kind of like DOGE. It's more fun. We just take a look at all the federal agencies and say, do we really need whatever it is, 428 federal agencies? Like, there's so many that people have never even heard of, and that have overlapping areas of responsibility. We should, there are more federal agencies than there are years since the establishment of the United States, which means that we've created more than one federal agency per year on average.
Wow. Crazy.
That seems a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. So we should have, that seems crazy. I think we should be able to get away with 99 agencies. I don't know. That seems a lot like a lot of agencies.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
2 per state. That's a lot.
Yeah, exactly. We should have fewer agencies, and they certainly shouldn't have overlapping responsibilities. And then we need some kind of, we just need a review of regulations to say which ones are sensible and which ones are not. Because if you've got regulators every year, they're going to add more regulations, just automatic. Like they just output regulations, and there's more laws and regulations every year until basically everything's legal, so we can't get anything done. So we need some kind of garbage collection for regulations that don't make sense.
Yeah.
I think I'm saying very obvious things.
You are saying obvious things.
Yeah. So
which will be very unpopular things.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
I'll probably need, if this happens, quite a significant security team. So that, because someone might literally go postal on me from the post office.
You know, that's the thing about this DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency. This is what the left has been screaming about how Trump wants to weaponize the government against his political enemies. What they're talking about is that they're going to be held accountable for betraying the American people and bloating government so much to the point where they do not think about this for a second. The government is supposed to work for we the people. We are their bosses. Technically, that's how America works. Our constitutional republic was established as the government working for the people. Yet, these elites within our government have established themselves as kings and queens amongst the people. They have no interest in doing the will of the people, especially the radical left. And they have set themselves on a pedestal that is unreachable by the average American person. They do not answer to the American people. In fact, their entire job now is to come after the American people, to bully the American people, to silence the American people if they say something that has not been allowed by the elites. Charlie Kirk said the creation of DOGE will be the first federal program whose goal is to eliminate itself. It exists to shrink government, not grow it. That's the plan. Again, let's hope that it works out that way. Here are some of the most insane statistics about the waste and inefficiency of the U.S. government and why Elon and Vivek's new DOGE is such an incredible and crucial development for America. The CBO revealed at least 1,264 federal programs and bureaus have expired authorizations, but still receive $516 billion in funding. The Government Accountability Office estimates the federal government wastes $247 billion in taxpayer money each year. The Department of Treasury reported $24.5 billion in unreconciled transactions in the past, meaning it spent $25 billion on unknown things. Department of Agriculture employees misused government-issued credit cards, spending millions on personal purchases like concert tickets, tattoos, lingerie, and car payments. $33.2 million was spent on twansing monkey research. Insane. Ramaswamy's response to this is DOGE will soon begin crowdsourcing examples of government waste, fraud, and abuse. Americans voted for drastic government reform, and they deserve to be a part of fixing it. Right on. Respect that. He also said, over the last 2 years, the Supreme Court has ruled that the administrative state is behaving in wildly unlawful ways. But slapping the bureaucracy on the wrist won't solve the problem. The only right answer is a massive downsizing. Hear, hear! So yeah, I think this is a fantastic idea. Let's hope it plays out and works like they are claiming that it will, and that it really does end July 4th, 2026, and that between now and then they're able to actually start cutting down government waste, getting rid of the insane moles within our government that are just there to benefit the elites, other countries, basically everybody except for Americans. You know, the Bible calls us to pray for our leaders, those in positions of authority. The Bible also calls us to pray and ask that we would receive wisdom. Let's pray that the leaders in our government, Trump, Musk, Ramaswamy, that they would not just have the ability to lead and govern in a way that honors God and protects the American people and benefits the American people, but that they would genuinely come to faith in Jesus Christ. You know, nothing is impossible with God. If it's God's will that He draw them to the Son, to Jesus Christ, then He will. And let's pray that they would genuinely ask what James says here. Look at verse 5. This is James chapter 1. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given him. But let him ask in faith, with no doubting. For the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea that is driven and tossed by the wind. For the person must not suppose that he will receive anything from the Lord. He is a double-minded man, unstable in all his ways. But hey, let me know your thoughts about all this in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, join this community. I would love to hear from you on a regular basis. And please, hit that thumbs up button, when you like this video, to get pushed out to more people, and it would really help spread the truth. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.